Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for tuning into the always informative, always entertaining, the Boxing Authorities. Joining me at the desk, as always, the two best, Luther Dupree Jr., Smoking Jim Frazier, and my name is Claudio Relsano. We have a lot to cover, fellas. Some boxing results the past week. Devin Haney, 31-0 with 15 knockouts, dominates Regis Prograis, who's now 29-2-24. Luther, we knew Haney was going to win, but did you know he was going to win that big, that easily?
I thought Regis Prograis would give a better fight. I mean, I didn't know that Devin Haney would outclass him like this. Dropped him in the third round with a nice right. I mean, the speed, the power, the boxing IQ. He just schooled Regis Prograis, and it tells you he was really weight training himself at 135 because the power was back.
Yeah.
I mean, did you see Regis Prograis' face afterwards, marked up? He got dropped, and you see Regis was worried about coming in. Just sat on the outside every time he came in. He got punished. Great footwork, boxing IQ. Devin Haney proved he's the fighter of the year for me.
Oh, okay.
Beating Lomachenko, beating Regis Prograis. Yeah, this guy's the real deal. I like what he did, and I'm very impressed with him. I like to see him and Tank get it on at 140. I mean, Tank, you can't say he doesn't sell. You know, he packed the place out. Two of the biggest fights of the year involved Devin Haney.
Yes, sir. Jim?
Well, I tried to tell Luther a long time ago when Luther said that everybody was ducking Regis Prograis.
They were.
He was basically a club fighter. There was no money in it. The only reason Devin Haney went up to 140 to fight him is because he had a title, and it was an easy fight. He fought a club fighter. He did what you're supposed to do against a club fighter. Is a bow tie okay? And
We're distracting you like we were talking about before the show, right? Right, Jim?
But I'm not surprised. Devin Haney, he's been running away from competition at 135.
How, Jim?
He fought a club fighter. He beat a club fighter. I told you, you're the only one that was on program. I tried to tell you this guy's a club fighter. He's not that good.
Was he a champ, Jim? Was he a 140-pound champ?
That's what I just said. If you were paying attention, I just said.
You said he's a club fighter. You're not giving a man any credit.
He went up to 140 to get an easy title on the run away from Tank.
Now, let me ask you something. Now, who was the guy? What's his name? Karen. Now, that was running.
That was running.
What he did.
Show me film. Film.
What he did, you got to admit.
No.
He just went like this. Look, Jim, just
How
a
can
little
you run in the
movement.
ring?
And he threw punches while he was moving back. Beautiful movement.
Devin Haney.
Devin Haney.
I didn't call Haney. Haney's running from competition.
How is he running that? Jim, how is he running? Do you understand biology,
I know
Jim?
that. I know that. I didn't say you said, but I'm saying, that was beautiful movement. He just moved a little bit. He didn't run. He's a nice mover. And not only you said his legs, not only that, but his upper body. He would move a little bit, bang. I'm saying what we said, we appreciated how beautiful of a boxer and the IQ.
Of who?
Of Haney.
The one that they robbed Vasily.
Okay,
on
He
that
won.
but
day.
Vasily's
What
good
are you
too,
talking
though.
about,
Vasily's
Jim?
great.
Yo, no, I didn't say he
Vasily's
wasn't.
great.
But I'm just
All
I'm
those-
giving him
with his 3
compliments.
losses. He's great.
No, he is. I do like Loma, but I say Haney is really. I said that when he fought Camboza.
Who
did.
would win between Haney and Tank?
It's a 50-50 fight
Well,
right now.
Tank. I think
let's-
Haney thinks that
If-
Tank
if-
would win.
if.
That's why he's running.
Okay.
Jim,
He's
see,
already said he
how
wants
is
to go to 147 if Tank goes
Because
to 140.
he's having trouble making weight. He's a young guy who's growing, Jim. You understand biology, Jim? You weren't the same.
Malcolm
You weren't the same
extra
size. Did you see? He looked much bigger at 140. He looked
looked-
healthier.
He looked good, though.
He wasn't
He was fighting
struggling
a
to make
bum.
weight,
He was fighting
and
a
he
bum.
still came in a big.
How many bums he gonna
See,
fight?
that's very disrespectful.
Cambosis was a bum.
He was a champ.
This
He was
guy's
a champ.
bum.
Who beat? Is Teofimo a bum?
Huh?
He beat Teofimo
No,
Lopez.
Haney didn't fight him.
No, because Teofimo didn't
I'm
fight
talking
him.
Tank.
Did
I'm
Cambosis
talking
beat him?
Tank
We're
and
talking
Stevenson.
Tank. Who is
You
Tank?
had Tank on
Listen,
the way down.
first
But
of
that's
all,
another story.
Jim, you're all over the place. First you said Tank was on
I
the way
made-
down.
I said
Now
I
you're
made a
saying that.
mistake.
Make up your mind,
I made a
Jim.
mistake with him.
You
I
made a
made
lot of mistakes
I made
on
a
this show.
mistake with Crime Time.
Crap. See, there you go. You give him credit, then you start slandering him.
Who do you like between Tank and Haney?
At
He won't make a
135,
decision.
I'm going to go with Tank. At 140,
Okay, 140 because he's going to get back.
140, I think it's a 50-50 fight.
So Tank at 135. Okay.
But they're not fighting.
how about
he can't
Stevenson?
Make,
How
he
about
can't
Stevenson?
make 135,
How about
Jim.
Stevenson and Haney if one? I bet you if Louis
Listen,
Farrakhan
Jim,
can get back
stop,
down there.
listen, Jim, stop. This Farrakhan stuff, you're all over the place. 135 is a small weight. He's no longer there. No. We should be, if Tank is going to stay there, fight Shakur Stevenson. You are the two top dogs.
Last man that disobeyed Farrakhan.
Here you go, Jim. You always got to take it another
if
place.
Haney fights Tank, and you know I like Tank, but if Haney doesn't fall into the trap like he didn't against Kambosos and Slug, I think he wins.
Yeah,
and I give Haney credit because the boxing IQ. Now, if he goes in there and stays in there and tries to slug, he's going to get hit. But I think he's going to be smart and
Vasily beat him.
But I don't
Jim.
think Tank can fight as well boxing wise as Loma.
I agree with
Hey,
that.
listen. First of all,
he thought he
we
had
gotta,
an easy
what you have to understand, that was a weight drain.
No,
Devin
he
Haney.
seen
No,
Jermaine.
it was a stop,
He
Jim.
seen
Can I have my
Jermaine.
time back?
Yeah,
it was a
yeah.
weight drain, Devin Haney.
Okay.
He shouldn't have been fighting at that weight. I've been saying that for years. He
does take a
finally
lot out of
moved
you.
up to 140, looked a lot better, and I think he needs to move up to 147. He's
You
a
went to a
big
black
guy.
college, so I know you're not a doctor or a nutritionist.
Did you even go to college? Did you even
It took me
graduate?
14 years. I got my degree.
Listen, Devin Haney looked good. Jim could slander him all he wants. He's a top 5 fighter. He's the fighter of the year. Who else did what he did? He fought one of the best at 135, went up to 140, fought one of the 3 top belt holders. You got to give him credit. Quit
Well,
trying to slander him, Jim.
Well, he's wearing pink panties where he's running from Tank.
No, he
Come on,
didn't-
Jim.
okay,
I'm
let me-
telling you
okay,
when
now
I
you're in his
I'm
draw.
telling
Now
you
you're in
what
his
it
dressing room,
I'm
Jim.
telling you what
You
it
got
look like in
cameras
the
everywhere,
street.
Jim.
In the streets, it look like he's running scared.
How does it look like he's
I'm
running?
telling you,
If
I'm
you're
in
too
the
big for the
streets.
weight division.
I'm in the streets.
Yeah, you're in the streets, you're in the bathroom, you're in the bedroom, Jim. Come on, man, that fake news you spread.
Let me ask you.
Yes, sir.
If it was a close fight, then I'd say, you know what, you might be right. But he blew him out of the water. It wasn't Prograis. It
He's
wasn't
a club fighter.
But,
I've
okay,
been telling you.
but
What's
what
a
I'm saying is,
club fighter?
if it would have been a split, majority, or even close, that's okay. Maybe, Jim, you're right. But he blew him out of the water. Again, it's like, the number 1 team in college football playing the number 300. They should be
That's what
blowing him
Paul-
out of the water, and that's
he
what he
did.
did.
He did, yeah, he did.
You see what I'm saying? He
I
looked
mean,
great at
talented.
doing it.
He's talented.
Okay,
Jim,
but
Jim,
it
how many
reminds-
club fighters
it
have belts?
reminds me of Earl Spence
Here
and,
you
and
go.
Crawford when they would not fight. The people have been wanting to see more fights with Haney and Stevenson or Haney and Tank. And the guys
I'm just saying he did what he was supposed to do.
Yeah, I
That's what I'm
agree
saying.
with
And he
that.
did
I
look
agree
good.
with
Did he
that.
not?
Jim will never give a black fighter a credit on this show.
Especially when you fight.
Listen,
Then
give him credit.
Didn't I always say that Prograis was a club fighter?
What's
You
a
the
club
one that
fighter?
loved him. He was in your top 10 with George Taylor.
Jim.
they was battling for number 1.
Jim, what's a club fighter? How many club fighters have belts?
Pardon
you
me? A
disrespect
lot.
these people. How
There's,
many? Who?
Him
Who else?
and Cambosis. That's 2.
They don't have belts.
Yeah,
like I
Haney
said,
took
who
them.
has
Yeah.
belts? They don't
you mean
have
right
belts.
now?
Yes, you can't name any. You're not a club fighter when you have a belt.
Well,
These,
yeah.
put some respect on the man's name. He just fought a better fighter. He fought one of the top 5 guys, period.
All right.
And there's still a lot of guys that Regis Prograis could beat at
In
140.
your opinion, TD Jakes.
He's calling you every name but Luther. All right. Another fight. Cruiser Jake Paul with a battle of the ages against Andre August. I didn't expect much out of this fight. Were you surprised at the
Not
quick
at all.
win?
Not at all.
And are you giving Jake Paul credit?
No, for what? I mean, it's an uppercut.
wow.
The guy left himself wide open. Come on, man. He just threw a jab and an uppercut. The guy, it's another cherry pick. Jake Paul has the game plan down. You know I'm a fan of what he's doing, but he's fighting these tomato cans, and they're trying to push him.
Is he
in
a
the
top
10.
15 guy?
No. He has
Top 20.
Top 20, yes, but he's fighting these guys, these YouTubers, these old MMA guys that's older than me. Come on, he has to do better. He has to pick better guys. Now, when he fought Fury, Tommy Fury, he lost. He's got to step up
Tommy
his
Fury
competition.
wasn't great.
No. It was a nice knockout, but come on, man, please step up the competition. This is getting embarrassing. He's going to run out of YouTubers
I was just
and
gonna
old
say.
MMA guys. He's going to have to
Eventually,
fight
people
somebody
aren't gonna
eventually.
care. right?
But I like what he's doing for boxers with Amanda
Oh, that's
Serrano
out of the ring.
and all
but
those
in
guys.
the ring, you're 1,000% right. You can only fight these guys so long. Now you got to
Now
turn
you
it
got
up
to
and
step
fight somebody
up. I
good.
mean, yeah, it's a nice knockout, great uppercut. You're waving bye-bye. That's cute. But do it to somebody who's boxed,
Yeah.
has some history, some skill in the ring.
Right.
I think Jim could
about a
beat
club
that guy.
fighter.
Yeah, that's a club fighter, Jim.
Mr. Frazier.
Well, I think if Jake Paul shared the complexion of Devin X, Luther would give him credit. I mean, what more you want? I mean, the guy single-handedly is putting boxing on the map.
Single-handedly.
He's exciting. People that don't even like boxing, like Claudio said, crossover. This guy got power, and he can knock anybody out. He can get. He can
Especially
be,
when you don't have your guard
he's
up.
definitely a top 10 in cruiserweight. If not, he's
so?
top 10 in Bridgerweight.
Who'd he beat in cruiserweight?
Well, you know
He,
what?
he, he
Top
just
10?
beat. Who's in the top 10? Who's in the top 10?
I think
he
Claudio's
can beat?
boy would dominate him.
Makabu.
Makabu.
All right, he's up in the top 5 or 6. But
Is he?
in the last,
I mean, the cruiserweight.
name me
cruiserweight is
7,
very
8,
thin.
9, and 10 in the cruiserweight.
The
You
cruiserweight,
can't.
the cruiserweight is very thin, but at least they have. I want him to
Give
fight
a
some-
white man
have
some
him-
credit.
I gave him credit. I
You
want him
only
to fight
giving
somebody.
quarterbacks credit that are white?
Oh God!
You know what though? He
I want him
said
to fight
something.
somebody.
He said something that hit me. Bridgerweight.
Yeah.
Bridgerweight now. There's no
wide open.
face of the Bridgerweight. Am I right or wrong?
True.
If I were the WBC, who we are connected
Yes.
with, I would call him up and say, "Look, you go Bridgerweight. You can be the face of
A
our."
lot more power up in the
You know what?
Bridgerweight.
You know, if I was the WBC president, you know what I'd do? Wilder, you're Bridgerweight now. That's only how you gonna get a title. That's the only how you gonna get a title or a decent statue.
I saw the
Jim,
Marciano
stop.
statue. The
Ain't it
Italian Hall of
beautiful?
Fame. Yeah, it's nice. It's pretty big. It
Woo.
was pretty
Speaking
big.
of statues, I saw Joe Lewis's statue.
Oh, in
in Caesars.
yeah.
Beautiful. I think I have a picture of it.
In
Beautiful.
Detroit?
Not in Detroit. Caesars, in
Oh
Vegas.
yeah, when he was the
Vegas.
doorman. When he was the doorman
No,
in Vegas.
no, he's a big white statue. Jim, can we put that statue up? The Joe Lewis big white statue
can't do
at
that to Joe
Caesars.
Louis.
Just a beautiful statue, Jim. Why? Listen, how can you hate a man
He
for
was a
having a
greeter
statue?
like at Walmart when he was in his
Come
last
on,
year.
Jim.
And you know it, Lou.
Anyway,
Some of us get happy. You're happy about having your jersey retired in strip clubs. I'm happy that Wilder got a statue. He deserves that.
I should have
Come
brought
on,
up the
man.
statue. Okay, David Morrell. David Morrell with a second round knockout against Sina Agbiko, who was 28-2-23. He could hit. Morrell just walked right through him. Luther.
Listen, David Morrell, superstar to make it. I was trying to tell you this years ago when he was 3-0. Now he's 10 what is he? 10-0. I think this was his 10th.
Oh,
fight.
10th.
He's 10-0.
Sorry.
9
nine
knockouts.
knockouts.
The first round, if you remember, he was playing around a little bit. But did you see Ronda Shields get into him after round one and said,
Don't
"Stop
play."
playing with this guy"?
Who's Ronda Shields?
Ronnie
Oh,
Shields,
Ronnie Shields.
trainer
Okay, just
of the
average-
year.
average trainer.
No, he's a great trainer.
Yeah, okay.
And then he did what he had to, got him in the corner, strong right, strong combinations, just unbelievable power. I'm excited about David Morrell. Make the Benavidez fight, make the Canelo fight.
All right, he's ready for those?
He's ready for those guys. Yes. Yes. At 168, I have him right there with Benavidez and Canelo. He's ready. Yes.
Now, you
Not
said-
that I'm saying he's going to win, but he's ready. You don't know if you're ready to beat him until then, but make the fight happen.
I liked the combinations he used.
Oh,
we knew he had the power, but
Speed,
his
power.
hand looked good.
Oh
Yeah,
my
his
goodness,
hands
his
up
movement.
looked good.
I mean, he's just amazing. We don't know about his chin yet, but man, who can withstand that
And
power?
you don't think that's rushing him going to Benavidez? And-
He's
still young.
He's Cuban skilled. He has a great amateur background.
I would not send
10
him up
fights.
yet.
What are you going to keep letting him fight this Beckos of the world? Listen,
No,
he's
what
ready.
did you say about Jake Paul? Move it up. Now, for Paul,
He's
I mean,
levels above Jake Paul.
Oh, no doubt,
Listen,
no doubt.
but he's fighting the same level. He
no,
needs
he's
to
got to
step
pick
it up.
He's
He's got to pick it up.
But I would not throw him in the deep end just yet.
Do you have him over Plant? I have him over Plant. Do you have him over
Now, see, Plant.
Buber Andrade? I have him beating both of those guys.
Yes,
That's how
but it's
highly
not
I
only
feel.
beating them, but Jim, I think you have to. You may agree. You want to look good against those guys. You cannot show holes.
You just want to win. You just want to win. I have him. You think Plant beats David Morrell at this
I
point?
think he'd beat. I didn't say he'd beat him, but I think he'd make him look bad. And Boo Boo, with the way he moves, may make him miss more. I
I think both of them get stopped.
What did Holmes say about Jerry Cooney? If he'd have fought a few more fights, Mike Weaver, whoever, then he'd have given me even more of a time. And Cooney said the same thing. It's experience. He's a young guy. He's a young kid. He doesn't need to be thrown to the wolves. This is a porcelain, cup. You don't want to.
He's
You wanna
ready.
take him-
Not marinating stuff. That's for the birds. These
Not
guys.
marinating.
Yeah, that's what you're doing. He's ready for the big time right now. Put him in
I
there with
wouldn't put him in big
Benavidez.
time
Put him
just
in there
yet.
with Plant, Andrade, everyone. He's
Plant,
ready. He's ready for all of them.
Plan.
Well, first of all, Luther, you didn't tell me nothing about David Morrell because I watched him in 2016 fight on the bridge, Roberto Clemente Bridge here, where 6 million Cubans watched me in the telecast and enjoyed
And now you're not
that.
allowed to.
Yeah,
But that's
and
okay.
enjoyed that. Hey, listen, I got to disagree with my main man Claudio here. This guy's ready. He can beat anybody in the world but Canelo. This is a guy, David Benavidez already knows that he can't handle David Morrell's
Oh, here you
out of
go.
the fight for that.
Mexican
He
monster
fought a
fight
guy,
anyone.
you can't get no better than fighting a guy 28-2 with 23 knockouts. I think he knocks Plan out. This guy is just, he was raised and born. And I tell you what I would do. I would definitely trade, they're talking about trading Mike Tomlin. I would trade Ronnie Shields over in Cuba for another fighter. You can get another trainer like Ronnie Shields, but you can't get another fighter like David
More
Morrell.
disrespect.
And
Stop.
I'm just saying.
Stop.
And if you were his
Stop.
promoter, manager, you would take him up that level, that high.
Yeah, well, to me,
He's
that ain't
ready,
really high. I
Claudio.
see so many holes with David Benavidez. He won't even land a punch as slow as he is. I mean, this guy is tailor-made. For a matter of fact, if I was his promoter, I would tell him right now, listen, we got to move you out of that, that class, that super middleweight.
Well, that's a
You're
good point. He
beyond
is
that.
getting
You're
bigger, so-
you're light heavyweight.
How is he beyond
because there's not enough good fighters in there. David Benavidez got flaws. Plant
Canelo,
Plant
Canelo.
got a knock.
What about
Canelo? Canelo's
Where
a
would you move him, light heavy?
Canelo's a welterweight that moved up 5 weight classes and
more
still
excuses.
dominant.
Stop.
According to Forbes magazine,
You
he's
talk
one of
about
the-
running and
according
avoiding
to Forbes
competition.
magazine, Canelo's one of the highest paid athletes
talking
in
about that.
all of
Yeah,
sports.
okay, that's a fact. We're not talking about that.
So, like I said, he could beat anybody but Canelo.
Oh, Jim, stop.
I have him.
Again,
And
Jim
David-
likes to
David
anybody who could challenge and beat Canelo, he wants to
wanna
move
do
him
that.
out
I
of the
know
room.
David-
Moving to 175, just like a Canelo fanboy.
I know
Go ahead.
David Benavidez believes that because he had a signed deal with Morrell and pulled out to go after.
Who's a bigger name?
Huh?
Demetrius Andrade or David Morrell Jr.
Well,
at
the
this point?
words-
No, who's a bigger star right now, Jim? Who's a
Did
bigger
Boo-Boo?
name? Who is a bigger name?
Well, in the words of Claudio, Boo Boo F's off too much, man. You know what I mean?
Andrade was the bigger name.
say
David
it
Morrell
off
gets that
camera.
fight.
I say it off camera. I would like a Plant fight, but you just said it yourself. We don't know his chin, and we don't know
Plant
how
doesn't have
he'll
enough power to hurt Morrell.
experience. No, I know that, but I'm saying experience plays a role. What's he going to do when he gets popped in the chin?
point, good
Big
point.
baby
Anderson.
Anderson showed me. What did I
No,
say?
my
What did I say about Big Baby? I like him a lot.
When he's
I
not
just want
southpaw
to,
yeah.
right, except for the southpaw. But I want to see him tested. He was tested against Prince Charles Martin.
Martin, yeah.
I didn't say Prince Charles Martin was Joe Louis, but he's a hitter. He's a former champion. He's experienced, and Big Baby handled it well.
None
now
of
I'm
these guys
okay
are going
with.
to give him none of those guys are going to give him a test. The test he gets is going to be
You don't think Plant would get
Benavidez.
not the chin, but a boxing lesson perhaps. What are you going to do when
David
they get,
Morrell can box. You haven't seen all the skills. We have not seen all
Right.
the skills yet.
You haven't
Listen,
seen it.
neither have you.
Ronnie Shields
You
hasn't
saw
seen
it back
it,
in
but I've
20.
seen
That
it.
was 10 years ago,
I've
Jim.
seen it.
He's got layers and layers since then, Jim. You
I
only-
like him.
You only remember
Although, to
Boots,
Jim's
but you
point-
remember Morrell.
No, I
You don't remember
Come
what?
on. He doesn't remember Jerron
Oh, I
Boots
know,
is, but he
I know.
remembers David
Why would
Morrell.
Why would have?
But
I
the-
remember somebody couldn't cut off the ring. Was that him? Bang and going.
But the thing about Morrell is, if you look at his frame, I do agree with you. He is going to get bigger. I think he get light heavy.
Easy. Yeah, he could put on more, but listen, just like Benavidez, he wants to become undisputed.
Off the top of
At
our
168.
head, name me a fighter. One person comes to mind is Mike Tyson. When they had that O removed, how it affected him. We don't know, again, how it's going to be when Morrell goes into the deep end. That's my whole point.
Good point.
I mean, Benavidez can hit. Canelo is Canelo. I think, I don't know if I would not put Morrell in against Benitez or Canelo just yet.
I would.
Thank
I would put him in with both of them. He's that good. He's ready. You know.
Canelo ended a lot of careers.
Boo-boo maybe. A plant for sure.
He won't end Morrell's career. I can guarantee you that. What career did he end, Jim?
A lot.
Amir Khan fought 10 more times after he got hit by Canelo. Stop, Jim.
How'd he do after that?
He had a glass chin before Canelo, and he's had a glass chin his whole career.
Again, when I say ruin, I don't mean
He didn't ruin it.
I don't mean
Jim, stop.
I don't mean he Daryl Stingley a guy. What I'm saying is they are
There you
not
go.
the same after he beats them, and nobody's the same after he beats them.
Anyway,
Ask Plant, he ain't want to fight since.
when we come
Because he
back,
fought Benavidez.
we're going to be specific in our predictions with the Day of Reckoning coming up December 23rd. Big card, so come on back to the Boxing Authorities. Welcome back to the Boxing Authorities. December 23rd, Day of Reckoning. Great card. Number one, Luther, you first. Has there ever been a bigger card? I mean, a more loaded card?
There's been a lot of loaded cards, but with this many heavyweights, I don't remember a time with this many great heavyweights on a card at the same time. This reminds me of the cards that Don King used to put together. I mean, that was a card you could watch from start to finish. But as far as heavyweights, this is one of the best of all time. I love it. I love it.
Well, I like pepperoni and sausage on my pizza. But,
Hey, what are you talking about? Tired of that already. But go ahead.
You're gonna make Ferry Court mad saying that.
but hey, this is a great card. Very impressed with the money over in the desert.
Yeah.
I don't like how they treat women, so I would never go over there and support
Jim.
that. But you know, in terms of giving these guys, paying them what they're worth, you know, I got to, you know, take my hat off to this card they put together in Saudi Arabia. I take Bivol off of there. He does nothing for the card.
Because he beat your boy.
I think Big Baby Miller is an intimidator over there. I think Daniel
Dubois.
he may be in a little bit of trouble. It had to be a lot of money to get Philip Herkovic off his butt, but as Hispanic,
Arslan
Makhmudov.
yeah,
That's your boy from
I
day
like
one.
that. I like Freddie Sanchez, who's great. Just another guy that they're staying away from.
Frankie Sanchez.
Yeah, Frankie. Yeah,
Freddie.
You thinking of Freddie Latham? Frankie
Yeah.
Sanchez.
But
and I love the main event with Anthony Joshua.
But to Luther's point, what he said, that's not the main event, co-main event. But like Luther said, from start to finish.
Yes.
So like how many times we watched a pay-per-view,
Yeah, the
or
first
even an
couple are
ESPN, whatever, and the first couple, there's not a fight here, in all honesty, that even that Opecia or whatever, Opedia against Zora Cruz, I'd like to see that too.
He got alopecia?
Whatever. Keep his name out your mouth. Okay, we're going to start with Frankie Sanchez versus Junior Fa. Luther, predictions.
That's an interesting photo there.
None of them look like that.
Frankie Sanchez, you know, probably old as me, maybe older than me, against Junior Fall. We saw him before. He beat a local guy, pretty good, but Junior Fall has fallen off quite a bit. I look for Frankie Sanchez to school him and win a 12-round decision.
What local guy did he beat?
We're not going to say any names. You know, he's making a comeback. But Frankie Sanchez is going to outschool him, but he has not enough power to put him down. I was very, very unimpressed his last couple fights. Jim thinks he's all-world. I disagree. I think he's a solid heavyweight, but doesn't have the power to keep these big guys off of him. Frankie
Usyk
Sanchez in a
does.
decision.
And he doesn't move well enough to stay away from the big punches. Would you agree with that?
I don't know. He has great movement. I don't think he sits down on his punches enough.
Didn't
Well,
he
he's
beat
not-
Effie? Effie, nobody hits harder than Effie.
Oh, there's a lot of guys that hit harder than that.
Who? Name
Wilder for one.
Well, I said there's
AJ
not-
for
I
two.
said, let me see. I said there's not a lot of guys.
You didn't
you come up with two.
let me finish.
Oh, well, are you taking?
Tyson Fury. I got Big Baby
Tyson
Anderson.
Fury can't hurt.
I got
Yeah.
Daniel Dubois. A lot of guys hit harder than him, Jim.
None of them hit harder than him.
How do you figure that?
'Cause they
He
don't.
stepped up to Frankie Sanchez and got dropped. He's not as hard as hitter as you think he is, Jim. He's not the hardest hitter in heavyweight. All those guys could hit.
Well, they can't
Herkovic,
hit- Well, no.
Makhmudov, Dubois, Baby Miller, all these guys.
Well, maybe the Chinaman that they ain't
Oh,
on
Zhang.
there.
Zhang could hit.
Zhang
Zhang could
bang.
hit.
Zhang
That's
can
what I'm
bang.
saying. So, Jim, you take another
said-
Let him
L.
finish.
Take another L, Jim. You even add
But
names.
no, but them other names you mentioned can't hit.
All those guys could hit.
Not.
The point
I
is,
know you like Frankie Sanchez.
I love him. I love him. If you love boxing or if you understand heavyweight boxing,
heavyweight boxing
just
is
like-
about what?
what is it?
Knockouts.
No, it's
People
not.
love
No, it's
heavyweight
not.
boxing because
No,
of
it's not.
knockouts. You said that.
Billy,
I'm quoting something
Billy
you
Corn
said.
had 15 knockouts.
How many times did we say that?
Billy
How
Corn
many times
had
did you say that,
15
Jim?
career knockouts.
Once again, he's
It's
jumping.
about the sweet science. Everybody's not a knockout.
Jim,
Okay, it's
Who's
Frankie
that one
Sanchez.
guy?
You
Who's
said-
that one
why did you
guy
say
that
people
beat-
love heavyweights?
That beat Dempsey. He wasn't
Gene
a
Tunney.
Gene Tunney wasn't
Okay,
a big
okay.
hit.
Jim,
Right,
I'm
okay.
using your words against you. You said
No.
everybody loves heavyweight
Everybody,
because everybody loves knockouts.
Yeah, they
okay,
do.
so
But-
what are you saying?
But I'm saying, Frankie, you guys are acting
He
like
doesn't knock
Sanchez
out.
is not great because
He's
he don't
not
knock
great.
everybody out.
Okay, but
He's
is
not
can
great.
you
Who did he
mention
beat to
Tunney?
make him great?
You mentioned Billy
Effie.
Conn. Can Frankie say Luther seems to think he can? I don't think he can move well enough to stay away from the big punch. He's not going to be a boxer. To me, when you say boxer, I think of Muhammad, Sugar Ray, Floyd, Haney. Those are boxer puncher, Lennox Lewis, Riddick Bowe.
Right.
Maybe you can sneak Holyfield
Well, the
in maybe.
Pittsburgh kid, Paul Spatafor,
Was a boxer.
but he never moved. He stayed in the pocket.
Okay, but he
You
didn't
didn't
move.
hit him.
Dan Marino was not a scrambler
Right,
as a
but
target.
he
hitter.
stayed- he
He's-
could move.
But he moved.
That's how Freddie
in
is.
the pocket.
He's the Cuban Dan Marino.
Oh, stop, Jim.
I
So,
mean, this
I
guy's,
take- what do
this
you like
guy's
in the fight?
excellent. I like, well, I love Junior Favre. Is it his last name, Favre?
Favre.
I loved him when he
Favre.
knocked out Freddie Latham.
Jim,
I think he was at the top of his game then. But this ain't no Freddie Latham here. This is Frankie Sanchez. And in my opinion, is good enough to be a heavyweight champ of the world.
So what do you like in this
I
fight?
like Freddie Sanchez.
What?
Frankie.
Luther have a
Frankie. Why
We-
keep
we
saying
have-
Because you
Freddie?
keep thinking Freddie Latham.
Okay.
We think Freddie's going to win in the decision. What do you like?
I think it could be a decision or a knockout.
doesn't
What the
knock-
hell? You know what I mean?
He doesn't knock anybody out. It's a decision.
He just knocked the guy out.
Yeah,
Mahmoudov.
no, that was a tomato can.
Arslanik Mahmoudov, 18-0 and 17 knockouts against, I guess you pronounce it, Ajit Kabayel, 23-0 and 15.
Knockout number 18 coming on deck. Makhmudov destroys
Good
this
record
guy.
here. Good record here.
Yeah,
But against-
against who? 23-0. He's fought on his whole resume nobody you could name.
I was hoping
and he only has 15
Mahmoudov
KOs.
would fight somebody a little bit higher.
Exactly. I mean, he's getting up there.
Well, he's
I
fighting
got
somebody better
Makhmudov.
than Herkovic is fighting. Who we really never heard of this.
Listen, Herkovic.
This
why
painter.
do you always
What'd you call him?
disrespect
Painter.
Herkovic?
This guy he's fighting sounds like a painter.
He has more wins than this Cabello, Cabello, but Makhmudov, KO number 18. I say he gets it within 5 rounds.
okay.
Makhmudov, all
Yeah,
day.
you know what, Luther? I'm going to say the same thing. Within 5 rounds. I'm with you.
And I agree with you guys. And Big Baby Anderson couldn't take his punch, and Big Baby Anderson's mommy wouldn't let him go. over there.
Hey, we're not even
When
talking
they
about
travel.
once again.
I know we
you
ain't
just-
because he ain't on the card.
You just would have found a way to trash.
His
You
mommy
would've-
wouldn't let him go. He didn't want to miss his
You
visit to
just
his
would have
brother
tried
that's
to
in
find a way to
prison.
trash a man. You know that?
It's
Come on,
Christmas
Jim. Stop.
It's Christmas time. He's visiting his brother in the pen.
With his dog. Okay,
shame,
Philip
Jim.
Herkovic, 16-0. 16-0 with
Herkovic,
13
the man.
knockouts.
I love.
Mark DeMori, 41-2-2. I think he's a brother who might be a painter.
Look, come on, man. I mean, he's going to
Big
destroy
boy.
that guy. His stomach looked really big in that picture.
His guns.
Yeah. Listen, easy work for Philip Herkovic, one of the top heavyweights. I've been telling you guys this. He had a lot of tragedies. Family members, his dad passed away. He really struggled getting over it. I'm glad he's back on this card. Look for him to have a highlight knockout, Herkovic, all day. I'm very upset he's not training with Ronnie Shields anymore. I think that was a bad move from him.
Why?
because he's one of the best in the business. But Herkovic gets this guy out. Demore, and I'd say about 8 rounds.
Ooh, 8. I have it in 4.
I
You
think
have
8 rounds. Yeah.
I have.
Because of
Herkovic.
rust. You know, he's rusty, but an 8th round he'll get him out of there.
I think he gets him in 4. I think he's going to. For some reason, I think they're going to say because you've been off, you need. This is a showcase for these guys, and you cannot. Even with Frankie Sanchez, he cannot be majority decision. He has to dominate. If you're in this card, Jim, do you agree? Before you give your prediction, you have to look good. You can't be half. Baked on this thing. I'm going to say Herkovic's going to go in there and slug and get this guy out within 4 rounds. You.
Well, I agree with you. I think Ralph is dedicating the next show to his father and grandfather. so,
Oh, come on, Jill.
I agree that he'll look good. He'll be back in the picture.
Jill said, yeah, that was a low blow, Jill. That was a low blow. You always got to find a way. Listen, are you finally going to give Herkovic his credit?
Well, he got beat by Big Bang Zang.
He did not get beat, Jim.
At that time,
just because
he got
you
knocked
lose
down
money.
twice.
No, you got beat because you bet on the
He
wrong
got knocked
guy.
down twice. That was 2 10-8 rounds. But at that
He
time, they didn't want to
dominated
give it to the
everything.
Chinaman. I bet you right now he wouldn't fight him again.
He
'Cause
already
right now-
beat him. There's no need. He
Yeah,
dominated
there's
him.
no need.
He dominated him like I
there's
said he would.
Who's in position? Who's in position? to get
Herkovic
the
is number
title
1 in
shot?
the WBA.
You know, Big Bang Zang. They're talking about him getting a shot.
Well, yeah, they're talking about it, but let's see. Let's see him get jumped over, Claudio. Let's see him get jumped over.
All right, Luther. Jai Opedia, 23-0-18 knockouts against Ellis Zora, 17-0-7.
You got to give it to Jai. You got to give it to Jai. He has the power. He's fighting a guy with no power. Zorro is going to be KO number 19. Jai destroys him. It's not going to be much of a competition. This might be the most over-match fight on the card.
Now, one thing I don't like that they've been saying about him is he wants to move up to heavyweight. You ain't going to make it in heavyweight.
Why
in my
not?
opinion.
Listen, that's where the money is.
Well,
Everybody wants
that's
to
where
move
the
up to
That's where
heavyweight.
the hospital bills come in, too. He's not a heavyweight.
Move him up to heavyweight. He wants to make the big money. He's dominating cruiser. He wants to step up with
Well,
the
how
big
about
boys.
Bridger?
Make it
I
happen.
know.
No,
Bridger
if you
for
want
him.
Bridger to be in
Yeah.
there, you have to
Where's
have
the
somebody.
money in Bridger weight, guys? You got to go to heavyweight to get the money. That's why this card is so huge. The heavyweights.
I bet you if Canelo fought in the Bridger weight to be money.
Oh, Jim.
It's just
So
ain't no
how
money
many-
for Wilder.
Well, listen. All I know is Deontay and AJ are set up to make $100 million in March when they fight each other. They're getting that. Yeah, they're gonna get huge money. Huge money.
I don't believe that.
Just like you didn't believe this card was going to happen. I told you
I
months
did.
ago.
That was me.
Neither did Jim.
You did.
Jim didn't believe this.
You think Jai
Jai,
in what?
easy. 4. I give him
Okay.
4 rounds.
Okay, Luther says 4. I say 2 smoking.
Well, I'm behind with anybody that got a peach or whatever it is. Yeah. But I'm a fan of his, man. I mean,
You never saw him.
I mean, this guy.
The guy's undefeated.
He's
Zora's undefeated. But
He got a good record. I would say 4 right middle rounds.
again, the reason why I say guys like Herkovic and Jai are gonna a lot of these guys because this is your audition for the big time.
Good point.
Okay, not for. There's everybody here has a reason to win, obviously, but some of these guys have to audition because a lot of people don't know who Herkovic is. A lot of people don't know Makhmudov. Well, they saw Makhmudov on ESPN. But this is now your Joe DiMaggio, Michael Jordan. They both said Cal Ripken. Those 3. They said, I give it everything I got every single game because how about if a youngster comes to a game for the first time and maybe the last time? They're going to base my career, my ability on that one appearance. You
Did
see what I'm saying?
Deontay Johnson say that?
Oh, no.
Oh, come on,
No.
Jim.
I'm just asking.
Daniel Dubois, 19-2 and 18 knockouts versus Big Baby Miller, 26-01
That's
with
what I'm
22.
talking
Luther,
about.
I want to hear this from Luther Dupree Jr. Go.
Cheater versus the quitter.
Oh,
Let's see.
You're like Don King with the titles.
That's
right?
what they could call this fight. The quitter, Daniel Dubois, because he's quitting at least 2 fights in his losses. And the cheater, Big Baby Miller, Big Pharma. Don't call him Big Baby. That name belongs to Big Baby Anderson. This is a 50-50 fight because I don't know what Big Baby really is working with now. You know, I haven't seen him
Working
too
with
much
as far
off of the PEDs. While he was on the PEDs, he looked like a monster throwing a lot of punches. The last couple fights, he looked overweight. He looks like he's in shape again. Daniel Dubois coming off a tough loss to Usyk, where he hit him with a body shot and could be the world champion.
He did knock him down.
He knocked him down. It was a clean shot. They said it was low.
That's why
I
I'm surprised
disagree.
you make it 50-50.
I'm going to give the advantage. Well, it is. I mean, it's a 50-50 fight, but I'm going with Daniel Dubois. I think he will. Stop Big Baby in the later rounds.
Okay.
In the
but
later
let me
rounds.
say this.
Because
you know, I'm sorry.
I think Big Baby's stamina is going to be an issue. He's not on those PEDs if he's clean, and I think stamina will get to him in the later rounds.
Does that
Daniel Dubois
stuff
can
give
hit.
you? Does that stuff give you? Because you said he threw more punches. Does that give you stamina?
Well, you can train longer, yeah. I mean, people are using it for a reason, you know. But
So it's
I
not just
think
strength,
Daniel Dubois is going to stop him in the later rounds. Big Baby Miller, you know, he talks a great game. He's probably the best talker on this card.
no doubt.
He was going after everybody, the AJs, the Wilders, and Daniel Dubois.
Somebody in the audience. who
Right.
wanna
I
separate
mean,
it that way.
he can talk it, but I
Dillian
think he
White.
can stop. Yeah, Dillian White.
But let me ask you, when Dubois fought Usyk, did he embarrass himself?
When he quit, he did.
Okay, that part.
But up until then, he looked good. But then
did all
once,
right against
once
the
he just
champion.
stopped on a knee again, I was very disappointed. You got to go out on your shield. I don't like he has that. It seems like he has that quit gene in him. You know, like a lot of those gateway players. That Jim speaks so highly of. They have that quit gene in them.
Smoking?
Well, Luther likes quotes. I like when Notre Dame played Miami years ago. Lou Holtz said it's the Catholics versus the criminals.
Yeah.
But this reminds me, you guys are getting up in age and you don't remember what an intimidator is. This Big Baby Miller has Daniel's heart. You know, it's almost like when Floyd Patterson fought Sonny
needle
Liston.
sticking out
He
of
was
his butt.
beat before he got in the ring. He was scared to death
And you
of
think
getting
Du
in
Bois
there.
is like that?
Man,
Why
this
ain't
guy,
scared?
Big
Why
Baby
ain't scared?
Miller's a killer, man. Big Baby
talks
Miller,
it.
But Sonny
Big
Liston
Baby
was a
Miller is
different-
like
but
a
he-
5-degree
listen.
black belt.
Yeah, but this ain't that. Sonny Liston proved. I mean, he had the scowl, and not only the scowl. You can look at stuff as you want, but Sonny Liston did do it.
Sonny
I love Big
Sonny
Baby.
Liston did it in the ring.
Right.
And
Big
out the
Baby-
ring.
Oh,
He
and
was an
out the ring.
enforcer for
Big
the
Baby,
mom.
yeah.
Why does he hit me? Why did he hit me on that
You're a
one?
made man.
But Big Baby Miller's one of them intimidators that'll talk stuff.
talks
He's
it.
a Deacon Jones talking stuff. Do you
But
want to
Deacon-
play against Deacon Jones?
But Deacon Butkus, those guys did it.
They did it, but people were scared to death because they were going to try to take your
Okay,
head off.
okay, but-
and that's what Big Baby
okay,
Miller is,
listen,
who's
he
a
could-
lot better than Big Baby Anderson.
Stop,
Because
stop.
his mama,
Who is-
his
okay.
mama ain't stopping him
Oh,
from going
come on,
nowhere.
man. Here you go with this crazy stuff again. Who has Big Baby Miller beat to
He'll
say?
beat him.
No,
He'll
no.
beat
Who has
him.
he beat? Who's on his resume?
He
Nobody.
has a great career
Nobody.
in the MMA. He has
And
a
he got
great
kicked
career.
out because of PEDs.
He has a great career in the boxing
And he got
ring,
suspended
and
because of
he got a
PEDs.
better career in the streets.
Oh,
I want you to meet him in Queens, Harlem,
What do you? I like Big
the
Baby
Bronx.
in Bronx. I like Big Baby in 7, and in a stoppage.
I'll
in a
never go with. I'll
stoppage.
never go with a PED cheat. I'm going with Daniel Dubois.
You've
7?
lost money before.
Not as much as you though.
Okay. Dimitri Bivol, 21-0, 11 knockouts. Lyndon Arthur, 23-1-6.
A
Luke.
top 5 guy, Dimitri Bivol. It's a shame that he hasn't had those big fights since he completely dominated and embarrassed Smoking Jim's boy Canelo. This is an easy win for him. He's going to completely dominate and probably stop Lyndon Arthur. His only loss was to Anthony Yard, another hard-hitting guy. Bivol, I think, can get a stoppage late in the fight, maybe around the 9th round. I got Bivol, easy work. He should be fighting a better competition than Lyndon Arthur.
I have a dominating Unanimous decision.
Thank you.
Jim?
Well, first of all, they only put Bivol on this card because they need a fight that'll go the distance for commercials and
you know what?
everything
That's
else.
not a bad point. That's not a bad point.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, boy, he's a journalist. Good. All right. So
Jim,
unanimous
Jim,
decision
he
as
just
well,
wants to
Ken.
find a way to slander Dimitri. Dimitri's a
That's a good
top
point.
5 guy, and
Anthony,
he deserves to be on this card.
who?
Bivol. Now, he's a top 5 guy, hasn't had that showcase fight since he dominated Canelo, and Canelo's
would
still
like
running.
you- I
He
like-
ran Canelo out of the 175.
Like you, I
Scared
like
to
to see
go.
him fight somebody bigger.
I would.
Anthony Joshua, 26-3, 23 knockouts against a tough Otto Wallin, 26-1 and 14.
Justice for Otto Wallin. Dillian White faked an injury to get out of the fight with him. This is going to be a tough fight. I had him beating Tyson Fury. The fight would have been stopped if there wasn't a big money fight afterwards. He cut Tyson Fury very bad on that eye. It should have been stopped. I think he was robbed of that victory. And I think we're going to see Anthony Joshua in a fight of his life. Once again, he switched trainers again. He's no longer with Derek James. He got another trainer
Everybody's
now.
switching off for you.
Listen, and that's a bad move. Switching trainers like that. It's not the trainer.
Spence
It's
did it, too.
Anthony Joshua tried. He didn't switch off at
got
Derek
rid of
James.
it.
Stop.
Yeah, he got rid of it.
Fake news, Jim. Listen, I got it going a distance. Otto Wallin's going to
Wait,
make it a
when you said
competition.
fight of his life,
Yeah.
you mean he's going to look great, or what do you mean by that?
No, I mean, he's going to be in for a fight. Just
Okay,
the way
okay,
Otto
okay,
Wallin
okay.
took Tyson Fury to life and death, it's going to be the same way with Anthony Joshua. It's going to be a 12-round
Isn't
war.
that bad if it's a 12-round war?
As long as he wins, he's going to get the
I don't agree
decision.
with
It's going to
that.
be a war.
I think he has to.
He doesn't have
It's
to
not
do
just
it.
a win.
His name, cardio. He doesn't have to look great. As long as he gets the W,
The longer
Wilder's
the fight
next.
goes, the more money he's going to lose.
No, that's not true. That's absolutely incorrect. As long as he wins, Claudio, he has to fight with Wilder, which people have been calling for 6 years.
I'm not saying he's not going to fight Wilder with a win. I just think that people expect him to blow him out of the water. I think it's going to be 10 rounds.
And people,
AJ.
and people are underestimating Otto Wallin. Otto
Yes,
Wallin's
yeah.
going to be in there fighting, doing what he can do. It's going to be a tough fight. I got Joshua
right.
in a unanimous decision, but it's going to be close.
I have 10-round knockout.
Let's
AJ.
put some money on it,
He
Luther.
finally put a
20
20 on
on
there
there.
with a bunch of ones
Who do you
underneath.
like?
Listen, first of all, Luther's most disrespectful. He's talking about a Hall of Famer like that. Listen, this is going to be a blowout. Anthony Joshua is the only one that stepped to Big Baby Miller. You see, Wilder ain't say nothing.
He was respectful of Wilder.
And the rumors was he was with
Oh,
Wilder's
Jim, oh,
wife.
Jim,
and
stop.
Wilder still
Jim,
ain't
stop.
say nothing in the same room. Hey,
Jim,
this
stop.
guy,
Stop.
Anthony Joshua wasn't going to have it. You see, Big Baby ain't come that way. This guy's focused. He's chiseled out of stone. He's ready. I
mentally
don't
weak.
really want to see the fight of Wilder and Joshua. If it's a big money fight and they get together, I think it should be for a title. It won't
It
be
should
no
have
title on
been.
the
It
line.
should have been.
I'm with you
but
there.
but AJ wouldn't fight him.
Well, wait a
AJ
minute.
ducked
Well,
the fight.
Wilder-
AJ ducked the fight, and that's
Well,
all to
that's
it.
what you were saying about Spence, and you found that you was wrong on that.
What are you talking about?
Deontay Wilder,
make up
43.
You said Earl
2-1.
Spence. You said Crawford was ducking Earl Spence, and I told you that wasn't. I said it
He
wasn't the
didn't
money.
sign the
wasn't right.
fight. He didn't fight him. He
Oh,
fought
yeah.
he-
But then
what did
he
what did he
beat-
do?
then he
Jim,
beat the snot
they were
out of
supposed
him.
to fight,
Then
then he
he
went
beat-
another
then he
direction
beat
in
the snot out
December.
of
He
him.
was
Like I
waiting
told
for
you
the
about.
hockey season to be over.
Yeah.
Deontay Wilder, 43, 2-1, 42 knockouts.
Bomb
Joe-
Squad is back. Listen, this is the most exciting, most explosive fighter on this whole card. Boxing world, you are blessed to see Deontay Bronze Bomber back
round?
again.
I
He's
got
going to
3.
destroy him in 4 rounds.
I got 3.
Listen, we're going to see a brand new Wilder. He's moving on his legs. I can't wait to see it. I'm just excited. We're going to see more than just the right hand. He's going to set him up. And Joshua's going to have a nice nap in Saudi Arabia, but at least he gets paid for it. Wilder in 4.
I don't think you're going to see a boxing Wilder because he doesn't need to. Against a Fury, he may box and use those feet because he does have them.
That's his style
I think he's
now.
going to slug, knock Parker out within 3, smoking.
Well, I know one thing. I can guarantee you, and I'll put all the money on the line that his wife won't be there. They don't play
Oh,
that.
Jim, stop.
They don't play
They
that.
already been
And-
there.
and she don't,
What are you,
I
Jim?
didn't see her.
Just stop, Jim.
I didn't see
Jim,
her covered
you're
up.
come on.
Listen,
Stop.
I can say this. I don't know this is a 50-50 fight here. I don't know.
Oh, Jim.
Wilder
Oh.
fight. Wilder don't had that many rounds. He
doesn't
old
need that
now.
many.
And I tell you what, I think it'll go. I think if Wilder gets him, it'll be. Is this a 12-round fight or 10-round, Lou?
10.
Yeah, I think Wilder getting 8, 9, 10,
Oh,
somewhere
Jim.
around there,
Serious?
maybe 9th round. Yeah, this is gonna be Wilder, the bomb squad. If he don't get you early,
I think
and
he
this
will.
ain't no former sparring partner.
No, baby.
And this
The only
ain't a
guy
white
who gave
guy.
him
Oh, come on, Jim.
the only guy who gave him trouble was your uncle
Ortiz.
He gave him a little trouble, and Fury. I don't think Parker has it to give him any trouble.
I don't know. I haven't seen Wilder fight in a while or in the gym. I've seen him. His gym is his living room. All the
Jim,
footage-
you don't know what you just slandered
all the film
Wilder.
you showed me was in his living room training.
Luther, I'm sorry, you had him at 4?
Four.
Okay, I had him in the third.
Highlight viral knockout.
Was
You have him
Of
late.
course. Of course.
Okay. All right. We hope you enjoyed our show as much as we enjoy bringing it to you. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Boxing Authorities.